What's up, YouTube? It is Jeff Tuffner back here on the Glorious Podcast with my Miami Dolphins, Tennessee Titans Week 5 matchup, full game review here, and the Dolphins are back in the win column, believe it or not. And this was probably one of those games where it just felt like we didn't win at all, but at the end of the day, we actually won the game, which is just mind-blowing, but the Dolphins won. I'm sort of happy, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm more pissed off right now at the Dolphins than I actually am happy for them. I would say I'm about 75% pissed and 25% happy about this game because they played like shit again. They got off the hook again. They lucked out again in this game against the Titans here. If Mariota was playing for the Titans, I think we would be talking about a completely different result here because the same trends that have been following the Dolphins all year, the past 2 weeks specifically, the games against the Saints and the Jets, they continued into this game. That being most specifically the offensive struggles. Jay Cutler and everyone else. Jay Cutler once again today, 12 for 26, 92 yards, 1 touchdown pass, and 1 interception. Obviously, as you could tell, 92 yards in one game is not good at all. He did get down and score 1 touchdown, which was just amazing because the Dolphins haven't scored any of them all season. They scored like 1 or 2 or whatever. I just seen the Dolphins do anything on offense. Just picking up a first down. When they pick up a first down on offense, it's just like you're just crazy to think how they have only a few of them all season because that's how bad the offense has been playing. They scored 16 points. Their defense, I will give the defense major credit in this game because they won on the game. The defense was spectacular for the Dolphins in this game. Spectacular defense all around. Everybody on the defense it was amazing. It was honestly amazing to watch how good they were playing on defense this game. I said last week that their defense was good, especially in the first half, but last week it was the case of, the defense was on the field so much. The offense wasn't doing anything. That eventually the Saints last week were going to start putting up points on the Dolphins if the Dolphins offense didn't pick up. And that's what happened last week. They ended up allowing 20 points, but they played really good last week. And then this week, they just topped their performance last week and played amazing defense out there today. What did we get? We got Ray Maluga back, playing his first game at, I think he started at a middle linebacker. I could be wrong. We have Lawrence Timmons. He returned last week. Kiko Alonso was great in this game. He made a few real nice plays. So the linebacking core has actually come together pretty solid right now for the Dolphins. The defensive line showed up in this game. Sue was good. How about Charles Harris? People were shitting all over him, especially in the early weeks. I kept noticing something though in the first few weeks of the season. His name wasn't really getting mentioned much on TV by the announcers or whatever. But I noticed that like the player grades when they came out like the day after or whatever, on the Monday after the the game or whatever, that he actually was up there and like he always had a good player rating the week in each game. So I'm like it was actually nice to see him actually show up kind of to where they actually, pointed him out or whatever, where he made big plays in this game. He made a few real nice plays. He had that nice play where he got up there and blocked that one pass, and then he had that big sack there toward the end, which pretty much, won us the game there. I mean, you never know what would happen. I mean, I doubt Tennessee. Tennessee's offense was really bad. I don't know if it was just the Matt Castle effect or whatever, but, I mean, I don't know, like, are they normally, like, I don't watch them often. I know Mariota's good, but their offense was, like, really bad, really bad. Their offensive line wasn't doing real good. Matt Castle was awful. DeMarco Murray was decent. They had that one drive with him. I think it was like right after the half or whatever. Right after the Dolphins went 3-and-out, as they did 1,000 times in this game. Right after that drive, Murray went down and scored. But that's about all they did on offense all game. They had that field goal in the what was it, the first quarter, second quarter, something like that. That was the 10 points there. But this game was brutal to watch, guys. I mean, the Dolphins won this game, but this game was almost as brutal as the Saints game watching that last week. I mean, I didn't even watch all of that game last week, too, but what I watched, it was just hard to watch. This game was the same case. It's just mind-blowing, though, to me that the Dolphins won this game, that they actually won. And the fact that we were going into Week 6 next week. The Dolphins are 2-2. They are a half a game out of first place. A half a game out of first place. Week 5, they're 2-2, and they are playing like shit. Somehow, they find themselves with 2 wins and only 2 losses. And a half a game out of first place. There is a 3-way tie for first place between the Jets, Patriots, and the Bills. The Bills lost to the Bengals today. The Jets beat the Browns, and the Patriots beat the Buccaneers on Thursday. Patriots should have lost that game on Thursday if it wasn't for Nick Folk missing like 3 field goals or whatever. But, I mean, the Dolphins need to be taking advantage of all this stuff. This is where you want to see them win because you thought this would be a good start for the season. You take advantage of all these other teams losing. The Dolphins could be running away with the division right now. They could be running away with the division right now, but they can't seem to find any type of consistency on offense. It's just all inconsistency. I don't know if I would put it all on Jay Cutler. I mean, watching a little bit of today, I can definitely put the blame on others. It's not all Jay Cutler that's causing this offense to do practically nothing. I mean, so I just saw like a lot of no effort being put in by a lot of the guys, and I felt like I've said that before, but a lot of the guys on certain plays, it's like they were just drops. It's like you gotta catch that. Like he was open, it's right to him, and just dropped it. It was at least like 5 times in this game where there were just straight up drops that should have been caught. Jay Ajayi was decent in this game. He wasn't that bad. He had 25 rushes for 77 yards. So I mean, he was decent in this game. He's been kind of off this season, but then again, the entire offense has been. It's not like, one guy's been doing good. The entire offense as a whole has just been all over the place this year. Receiving yards, Jarvis Landry, 5 receptions, 44 yards with 1 touchdown. Other than that, I mean, there was nothing else. Everyone else had like 1 reception. So that's how like, bad the offense was today for them. Jay Cutler, he just looked awful again today. I mean, I don't know. Adam Gase is doing everything in his power to protect Jay Cutler at this point. I mean, once again, it was toward the end of the second quarter and a little bit in the third quarter, the fans were chanting, "We want more." And it's crazy because it was last year, Week 5, against the Titans at home. It's just crazy how it turned out. The fans were chanting that same thing. We want more Week 5 last year when the Dolphins started off 1-4, lost to the Titans last year in Week 5. And then it was after that game they went on that crazy run, won 6 in a row, ended up making the playoffs. I keep drawing comparisons between this year and last year, but then again, I just don't see the answer being Jay Cutler. He's at this point, it's clear as day that the answer isn't Jay Cutler. But then again, Adam Gase will not take Jay Cutler out and put Matt Moore in. It's like everybody wants Matt Moore in, and I've said this before. Matt Moore at least makes the game somewhat interesting. Go back to the end of last season. There were games where it was good. It was down to the wire. Jay Cutler is just it just feels like he's not doing anything. It feels like he's putting no effort in at all. It feels like he's just I'm just here for the money or whatever. I'm making $10 million. Who cares? That's just what it basically feels like. And I mean, I personally, if I were at the game, I'd be chanting, "We want more" too, because I feel like they got to put Matt Moore in. I know, what? Jay Cutler's going to start next week. And Jay Cutler said the same thing in the post-game press conference once again. He was disappointed with the offensive performance. Well, he said that the last 4 weeks he's been disappointed. When is it going to change? Because it's been 4 weeks now, and the offense has been really quiet. It hasn't done much of anything. I mean, they had 1 touchdown week 1. They had 1 touchdown week 2. They had nothing week 3, and then they had 1 touchdown again this week. I was hoping for more offensive performance in this game, but I'm still just sitting here. I'm like, and next week we got a tough game next week. That's for sure. On the road against the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons also are coming off a bye. The Falcons started a little bit slow, but they're coming off a bye at home. We got to go back on the road again. I'm really worried about next week. Next week could get ugly for the Dolphins. If the Dolphins are able to stick in that game with the Falcons next week, and if the Dolphins are somehow able to win that game, would just be amazing. But I'm worried about next week. I'll tell you that for sure. I'm really worried about what's to come for the Dolphins next week against the Atlanta Falcons. It could get ugly. Especially, I mean, that Falcons defense could really expose Jay Cutler. Let's just say that. The Dolphins defense might be able to, once again, probably somewhat keep them in the game. Their defense, I loved the defense today. I loved the defense. The defense won on the game. They were actually, really well. I really don't know if it was the Dolphins defense was really that good in this game or the Titans offense was really that bad. Maybe it was a little bit of both, but I don't know. I just felt like their defense, it was just crazy how it was they were out there the offense was just going 3 and out, and then their defense went right back out there, only a couple drives, and that's it. And they got the ball back to the offense, and then the offense just kept turning it over time after time, and it just kept rotating. It was just a boring game. There was nothing exciting to it, and it's just been the case with almost the Week 1 game I found kind of exciting, but the last 3 weeks have just been brutal to watch, and this game was a win. This game was a win, too. The fact that it was a win, and I'm sitting here saying this game was brutal to watch. It was one of the boringer games this year so far. I honestly think it might even have been more boring than the game against the Saints last week. I'm not even kidding by that. I really just think this game, it just had nothing to it. The games are boring. Football games are boring when there's no offense. especially when it's your team that can't put up any offense. There just hasn't been that excitement level that there was last year, wherever with the Dolphins. It's just not there this year. I hope that they're able to figure out something. I really do. But I am worried next week, man. I don't know if they're going to be able to last at all with the Falcons. I really feel like this could get really ugly. But, hey, you never know. You never know. I doubt we're going to see Matt Moore start next week. I mean, Adam Gase is, like I said, he's doing everything in his power to keep Cutler in there. He won't take him out. He just won't take him out. He was asked at halftime if he would take him out, and he said there's no chance. I don't remember what he said word for word, but he basically said there's no chance we're going to see Matt Moore in the second half, no matter how bad it gets. Unless Cutler got hurt, there was no way he's coming out, which just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's almost as if Adam Gase doesn't want to win, which is just crazy. I mean, I love Adam Gase. He was great last year for us. He was the key to the success, one of the big keys to the success last year that the Dolphins had. This year, I feel like I disagree with a lot of stuff he's doing. The play calls, the decision to keep Jay Cutler in and not put Matt Moore in. It's just, why is he doing this? I just don't get it. I don't get what they're doing right now. I don't understand their strategy. It's almost as if they're like trying to lose. They're trying, like, why would they be trying to lose? I mean, I know they're not trying to lose. I doubt that's the case. But, like, that's what it feels like. It feels like they're out there in an attempt to lose, not win the game. I just don't understand. I don't understand what the problem is with this offense. I just, if it were up to me, I would put Matt Moore in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even put much thought into it at this point. Even after this game, despite the fact we won, I'd still be putting Matt Moore in, starting him next week against the Falcons. I just think it's the better option to start him. Because Jay Cutler just hasn't proven anything. He hasn't shown me or anyone anything this year so far that makes him a good quarterback, or at least a half-decent quarterback. He is below average at this point. Below average. He's one of the, you pull up his stats, compare him to anyone else in the league. He's probably got one of the, worst stats in the league compared to all 32 starting quarterbacks. So I have no idea what to say in regards to this offense. I pretty much said it all. It's just, I feel like the simple answer. I'm not saying Matt Moore is the answer. I don't think Matt Moore is the answer, but at least for the time being, at least give him a chance and see what he can do, because whatever Cutler's been doing hasn't been working. That's clear as anything right now. So I just think that's what they should do right now. And I don't know what the answer is at quarterback in the long run. I don't know if they go back to Tannehill next year, they draft someone. There's many questions to be answered in regards to the quarterback position on the Miami Dolphins right now and down the road. But I don't know. According to Adam Gase, Jay Cutler's the man, and that's who's going to start next week. So I don't know. Prepare to see. Hopefully they can at least make it the game. I just want an interesting game. I just don't feel like watching the offense go 3 and out every drive. I just can't take that anymore. Defensive football games are so boring to me. It's hard to watch. And then your offense is just going 3 and out, drive after drive after drive, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. I don't like it. I just can't take it. Nobody likes it. It just ruins it. But 16-10, the final score. I mean, like I said it before this game. I said the Dolphins are only 1-2. They're not far behind, and they find themselves a way to win this game here. Now they're only a half game out of first place, so they're right there. They could turn it around. They still have time. It's not like they've fallen far behind or anything, to where it's like they can't, it's going to be a big reach to get back in. It's not like they're 0-5 right now. It's not going to be much of a reach to get back in it right now. They are legit a half game out of first place right now. They're a half game behind everyone in the AFC East. All other teams are 3-2. So a win over the Falcons next week would be huge. I just really want to see the offense show up. That's as simple as that. The offense shows up next week. That's the key. The defense, as long as they keep doing what they're doing, the Dolphins might have a shot next week. But if they play the way they did today against Atlanta next week, you can forget any chance of the Dolphins winning that game. It will get really ugly really fast. Mark my words, because you just can't play this offense every week. They got lucky this week. They got lucky this week with Mariota not playing. And I mean, you know what I mean? Like, the Titans defense wasn't all that bad at all. They only held them to 16 points, and there were defensive points too. The touchdown was a defensive touchdown, and the field goal. And then they missed the extra point. So I was worried that I was legit. I thought we missed that extra point there. I thought the final score was going to be 17-16 Titans. But luckily, the Titans' offense was so bad that they couldn't even get down there and score another touchdown. So that's it. I think they've covered everything in this game. This just another boring game, and the Dolphins won the game. So Hopefully, better days are ahead for the Dolphins. Hopefully, a win next week over the Falcons it'd just be amazing from at this point. But based on what I saw today, I don't know if they even stand a chance next week against Atlanta. I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought of the game down in the comments. But let me know if you guys think the Dolphins even have a chance of winning next week against the Falcons. Let me know anything down in the comments below. Go follow me all over social media. The links will be listed in the description. As always, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you tonight after the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view right here for my Hell in a Cell review on the Glorious Podcast.